Hey YouTube, it's Monday morning and we're going to be working on this Jeep. I've had this Jeep here before. The woman who has it is trying to take good care of it. She has nice tires on it and didn't get to paint it. I had fixed this before, but I don't know why it didn't get painted, but it didn't. But the floor is the issue. So we need to take care of this floor here. And we're going to take the seat out and see what we can do about fixing this. Looks like somebody did make a patch here once before. Yeah. Okay guys, so we got the Jeep in on the ramps. Makes it a little easier to work on in case we have to go underneath for anything. And we're taking off the doors so that we can walk back and forth there. If it wasn't for my garage being so packed with junk, we wouldn't have to do that. So we're going to take off the other door. I don't know if this panel over here is bad anywhere. Yeah. Or no. We'll have to take a good look at this and see if this needs to be replaced. But you can see that by the bed where the seat goes, that's bad there. And then this was actually replaced once before. So we're going to replace it with a new panel and make it look good. Okay guys, like I said before, it's an 81 Jeep. What is that, Y something 5 or 7? Let me just check it. CJ7. Okay, so the woman who owns this Jeep is around 50 years old, and she is pretty handy, I have to tell you, but hasn't done a lot of, hasn't done everything, but she's really interested in learning how to do this. So what I had her do was take out the old panels that were screwed down. There was some metal that we took out of here, which the guy had down. It was pretty good job. I mean, it was okay, but it's kind of rusting now. So I had her grind along the edges there where the new panel's going to go, just to get down to metal. And we ordered the panel. Now I'm not sure, how this panel is going to fit that we ordered. It looks similar to this, although on this side it looks like there's a downhill piece. I'm not sure how this was in the beginning, but when I get the two panels, we'll know. So what I bought was this panel. The only thing we're going to replace is this panel and this back panel, because I know you can't see it here, but there's actually pieces put in here, here and here, that don't belong there. So we're going to replace the back half in here, and then this front panel for the floor on the driver's side. And also she was having some problems with her parking brake that didn't want to hang on. I think the teeth are wore off this gear that's in here, but I'm not positive of that until I get it apart. But that's where we're heading at the moment. So we're going to see how this looks and what we have to do to make this work. But anyway, we're waiting for the panel now. Like I say, I ordered that today, and she did a good job grinding this all out of here and stuff. And I wanted to get rid of this, these pieces. There's no sense in really hanging on to those big pieces in there, but at the same time, you don't want to go cutting too far because we don't know how big the panel is. I'm hoping the panel is going to cover all the places here that, where there's holes, but we don't know. Same thing as the hole here where the one seat bolt goes. I don't even think there was a bolt in the seat, but we're going to try and fix all of that. So it probably, maybe a couple hours work here was done this morning. And it won't take a whole lot to get it done. Fitting the panel is the hardest thing. And once I get that, I'll show you what I mean about why the panel is hard to fit. And it depends on which one you buy. I noticed that there were some for $30 for a floor pan. It looked to me like it was a piece of cardboard, so I didn't really care for that. So I bought one that was a lot more expensive than that just to put in here because it looked like it was made better. So we'll check that out and see what happens. So for now, I'm just going to cut out some of these big pieces of rust so we can see a little better what we're doing, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so then the other thing that she wanted to change was this emergency brake pedal. And what's wrong here is the teeth are worn off of the gear there so much that the piece that catches it is sliding off. So somebody sent her another one. I don't know if it was her son or an uncle or somebody sent her another one that seems to be in a lot better shape. So it's slightly different. This says a 75 on it. I don't know if this 81 is still on here or not. Let me get a rag here. I can't really see it. But the 75 fits. The bolt holes here are the same. And this bolt is slightly different, but it can be still mounted up there. So I'm considering putting that in there. The part that grabs a hold of the cable, though, this cable is giving me a little bit of grief and getting some slack on it. And I can probably unhook something underneath to get slack, but then sometimes you got to chase that. So we'll see what happens here. But anyway, I got the cable off without ruining the cable. And you can see that there is a difference here if you look at the two of them. They're made different slightly, but the way that they bolt up is pretty much the same. So I'm going to see what this is like, if I can get this on there and if it's going to be in good shape. But anyway, that gives me some more room to work here to do some welding and things, which are going to have to be done. So that's the main part that we're after. There's some brake lines right underneath here, so we want to be careful that we don't hit any of those when we go to do our cutting out here. Okay, so I cut some more of that metal out of there. You can see where the brake lines run there. I didn't even get close to them, so that's a good thing. There's a bracket there that goes up underneath that probably has rivets in it, or if not rivets, spot welds that are going to have to be ground out. And then I'm going to take that piece up there near the top as far as I can. But first I want to get the pattern or the template that they're going to send, the replacement piece, to see how it fits in here. The piece that I sent for, when you look at this, the camera is where the seat is. So all along here, I'm thinking that this piece comes up and rolls slightly around that. I'm not positive of what it does. I'm not positive if the back piece actually attaches to the front or if it leaves some space there or not. But either way, I got to get the bolt holes, you know, for the seat. I want to get the seat mounted correctly. And we also want to make sure that the metal's strong and tight, airtight, or not airtight, but watertight along, you know, any of the welds that I make. And then I'm going to put some black, what the heck do they call it? Yeah, black undercoating on some of this stuff here before I go too far. I may have to spray it since the other undercoating catches on fire. I may have to spray that with something else. I'll see what I have, see what we can get to make this better. But either way, it's not as bad as I've seen some. I've seen some floors that are rotted way beyond, you know, the point where you can weld them, and this one isn't. So it's not that bad. So between this and what we have back here to do, you know, it'll keep me busy for a couple of days. And I don't want to go too far without her learning how to do this, because when I say that, you know, it's surprising, but at 50 years old she wants to know how to do this. So I figured maybe I could teach her how to MIG weld while she's at it. That'll be a big thing for her to learn how to do. And she's of the type where she wants to learn to do that, which is good. So, you know, I'm only willing to show what I can show. So if you look there, you'll see we took the gas pedal off. Don't really have to take the clutch or that pedal out. It's not going to really be an issue. Since we took the brake assembly apart, the emergency brake, all you got to do is take that rubber out of there, and this thing should be able to slide down through there if I need it to slide it up through the new one. So we'll see what happens there, or if worse comes to worse, we can always cut around it. But I think that it would be better if we could take that out and slip it up underneath the new put it in the hole of the new panel there. So yeah, it's just a matter of seeing what, like I say, what the other panel looks like. I'm not sure of what it was doing on this side, because there's a couple little things here that look like there was something else happening. Luckily it's not rusted badly, so I'm hoping to be able to see with the new panel what that's going to be like. There's not really much to a Jeep. Surprisingly, they're so expensive. I mean, you know, the price of them was pretty high. But this one here, even the metal to the frame is good. There's really nothing wrong with that. It's just got dirt on it. I mean, it's not, you know, it's just good. So I'm going to clean that off, and then we'll paint that so that it lasts for a little longer yet without any problems. So anyway, that's what was done today, Monday, and I'm going to continue with this video for a while until I'm finished with this thing. And she's going to spray the floor with paint, not put any carpeting down. So we want to sort of make it a nice looking job here so that it looks like it blends in good. Alright, so that's where we're at the moment. And it's 4 o'clock up there, so I have got to take Bullseye out. Alright guys, so thanks for watching, appreciate it. If you have any questions, ask. If you have comments, don't be afraid to make them. Yeah, so that's what that's looking like so far. I put the tractor or the truck up on these ramps. It makes it a whole lot easier for me to work. I don't have to sit on a short bench or anything trying to fool with it. I could just stand right next to it.